Today we're interviewing Vonda Fields from Fields Investments, and my first question for you is, from a legal perspective, what type of business entity is your favorite firm or startup? Is it a sole proprietorship, a partnership, or a corporation? And why did the firm choose this type of business entity?
Well, actually, I'm involved in three corporations or three business entities, and it actually encompasses all three of them. My husband and I own Fields Investments, and that is a sole proprietorship that's just he and I, and it is a business that manages our portfolio of homes. We've got about 12 homes and properties that we own and I manage for that investment firm. I have a business partnership with another gentleman. It's an investment business partnership where I strictly just manage his portfolio. I don't have any ownership in the actual collateral. I have an ownership in the partnership, but I don't have an ownership in the collateral. So it's just a partnership between he and I. And then I'm actually an independent contractor for Robles Realty, where I represent outside clients, and that is an LLC. It's Robles Realty LLC. I would say that the Robles Realty LLC chose that as a form of their business because of protection, that they are certainly more open to more legal lawsuits, being sued. They have independent contractors like myself working for them, so they're not in control of every aspect of their company. They have to rely on me to do my job the way my license spells out and within those guidelines.
So, for my next question, what is the firm's most important contract or contractual relationship? Who is the other party to the contract, and what are the main terms of the agreement?
Well, I would say going to the company where I'm an independent contractor with Robles Realty LLC, I would feel like the sales contract is the most important item that of a contract. I feel like it represents another party. It's not just my investment that is on the line. It's them as a client that I represent. And so that would be a sales contract when I'm either buying or selling a home for a client, and that would fall underneath Robles Realty LLC, where I'm an independent contractor.
So for my third question, what is the firm's most valuable type of intellectual property? Is it a trade secret, a patent, a copyright, or a trademark? And how did the firm acquire the legal rights to this intellectual property?
Intellectual property. I don't know that we have something that is a trademark or patent. I mean, we're real estate agents basically on all three of the corporations that I work with. So I don't know that there's something different or patented that I have. I do have my license, which is, every realtor has to have that. I would say our trade secret maybe is just customer service. That's really what we focus on all three of our corporations, is satisfying customer service and making sure that every single one of our customers is happy in the end.
My fourth question, who is the firm's most essential or important agent? From a legal perspective, is this agent an employee or an independent contractor?
Well, I would have to say me in all three, in all three companies. But no, we have important agents in all aspects of all three of our companies. With Robles Realty, I'm an independent contractor. And with the other two corporations, there's no employees. It's just the owners. That's it. So I am an independent contractor with Robles Realty.
In regards to litigation, what is the most important lawsuit or potential lawsuit the firm is facing today or could face in the future? Is the firm the plaintiff or the defendant in this case? Is this case more likely to settle out of court or go to trial?
Well, fortunately, I can say we've never had a lawsuit and don't plan to have a lawsuit. I would say that the most stickiest situations that we've ever been in is escrow disputes, which would be when a client, either a buyer or seller, depending on who we're representing, would put down money on a home, and then the buyer usually backs out in a dispute. The seller randomly backs out. and I've only had this case maybe 3 or 4 times in the last 20 years. So then the seller then does not want to release that escrow back to the buyer because maybe they didn't back out in a proper time frame. So usually that goes to a mediation type situation. We've never had it go to a lawsuit or a court situation. It's always been able to be settled before we get to that phase.
In terms of ethics, describe the firm's commitment to ethics and its ethical culture.
Well, as a licensed agent, I'm actually licensed under fiduciary duties, and that would include loyalty, confidentiality, disclosure, obedience, reasonable care and diligence, and accounting. So basically what it boils down to is if I walk into a house and show a home to a client and I smell mold, I need to, bring that forth to the table to say, there might be a mold issue in this home. We might want to get that checked out. If the listing agent secretly tells me that, they've had a rat infestation in this particular home, I'm under a fiduciary responsibility to share that with my client. So I'm actually licensed and have these fiduciary duties that I actually have to comply with, whether I feel like they're morally right or wrong. It is my fiduciary duty to do that, and I could lose my license if I don't. So we're very committed to ethics. I understand that you need a legal component as far as a diagram. This would be a typical sales contract. Fortunately, they are pre-done for us. We don't have to create the contract. This would be an as-is residential contract. And here is a Florida real estate lease. And it includes all of the disclosures. It's quite a package. The Bar Association does approve these for our Florida Real Estate Association, and they're approved across the country for national. This is just for Florida. They're right here. So this would be a sales contract and a legal lease.